What's up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot
I'm here
Commodity.
too.
He's here too. You should do the introduction.
No, I like to go. I'm here too.
You're here too because you're a half of them.
Yeah.
I'm the Hot Commodity Ant, joined by my own Hot Commodity. His name is Mia as well, and we are jumping into our handmade time machine to go back to the new millennium. We covered the end of 97, which is season 1, which is 97, which is December 97 to December 98. Season 2 is January to December 1999. And season 3, which we're currently covering, is January to December 2000. So you can check out season 1 and 2 in the archives and other episodes as well. But we are just starting out in August. We coming off of Fully Loaded, and we're covering WWF Raw Is War live on August 7th, 2000 in Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York. Whenever they're at MSG, I usually think it's going to be a big show, and I was expecting a lot more from this episode because I thought, with them being MSG, but it was a decent episode, though. A lot of stuff happened here, so let's kick things off with the WWF Champion The Rock coming out to the ring. Rock says, SmackDown, Shane McMahon, maybe you think Chris Benoit was screwed out of the WWF title. I wipe a New York City sewer with my ass with what you think. Chris Benoit, you want a shot, you got it. Here and now. And then Chris Benoit and Shane McMahon come out. Benoit says, the world knows that Fully Loaded Chris Benoit beat you for the WWF title. I beat you for the WWF title. Oh, I'm so fucked up tonight. I should have smoked right before I did this. Anyways, Benoit says, the world knows that Fully Loaded I beat you for the WWF title all by myself, only to have it stripped away by Commissioner Foley. By accepting your challenge tonight, it gives me the chance to beat you and become champion. Shane then says, Chris Benoit will become champion under one stipulation. I'm shocked you can remember anything after SmackDown. You will suffer the same fate as everyone else we have targeted. The title match will be a no disqualification. Rock says, I have no problem with that. It doesn't matter The Rock because I will not lose a title, but I will both of your asses through New York City. So Benoit versus The Rock, no DQ tonight for the title.
And remind me again, Fully Loaded. I know Benoit beat him, but what was it? Why did Mick Foley reverse
I think I
can't.
I don't know if Benoit hit Rock with the title or Benoit or Rock put his foot on the rope, but the ref didn't see it.
Right.
Then Foley ran out. So, yeah. Kurt Angle complains to Commissioner Foley backstage about Chris Benoit getting a title shot over him. He wants to be a number one contender for SummerSlam. Foley says that he will take his request under advisement. So,
as the hourglass goes.
As the world turns. WWF Women's Champion Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley is waiting backstage for Triple H, who arrives, and he's pissed off because on SmackDown, Stephanie and Kurt Angle had a little hug fest, and
Stephanie rubbed all up on that big bull.
She sure did. He tells Stephanie that he needs some space, just like she told him on Raw. I'm sorry, on SmackDown.
I don't mind how the tables are turned.
Our first match of the night, we have Rikishi taking on X-Pac. Road Dogg watches on backstage. Rikishi is able to do the stink face, which Road Dogg laughs at. Rikishi super kicks X-Pac, and then Road Dogg runs out and low blows Rikishi. So Rikishi gets the DQ victory, and then DX stomp on Rikishi and leave together. It's interesting because they each laugh at each other's failures, but then they help each other at the end. So it's it's weird. So what did you think of this?
It's kind of like a long, drawn out breakup. They fight, but then they want to save each other at the end.
Just fucking break up. End it. Go ahead. You were gonna say something.
That's all.
Okay. Triple H is also complaining to Commissioner Foley backstage, and he wants to be number one contender for SummerSlam. Foley tells him that Kurt Angle already asked him for a shot, but he will take Triple H's request under advisement. And then we go to commercial. Go ahead. Oh, sorry, they're going to say that again. We go to commercial, and Triple H starts arguing with Stephanie, for Kurt Angle wanting to be number 1 contender. He threatens to kick Kurt Angle's ass if he sees him backstage. So Stephanie's got to get her friend, man. Got to watch out for Kurt Angle. The right to censor will go. Sorry, again, I keep thinking you're going to say something. I don't know why. Maybe it's because like your mouth's moving and I think you're about to jump in, maybe.
I was going to say there's a lot of people at this point that could be good number 1 contenders in the company. Like there's a lot of high card guys. I mean, Austin's out right now. There's The Rock.
The Rock champion.
Right. I'm just saying there's a lot of high card guys that are up there, like The Rock, Triple H, Benoit, Undertaker, Kurt Angle. Even Kane was in some matches last month. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, there's a lot of people that there's a lot of good guys at this point.
Yes, sir. I agree. The right to censor come out. They're not good guys. Steven Richards says, as long as the WWF has right to censorship, you can say goodbye to scantily clad women. If anyone has a problem, they can discuss it further with us. And that's when the Dudley Boyz come out. And the Dudleys pretty much kick ass throughout the match. They hit a 3D. Save the hose. They hit a 3D to Bull Buchanan, but then Steven Richards breaks up the pin, so the Dudleys win by DQ. After the Dudley Boyz give Steven Richards a what's up headbutt, the hose hop the rail with their sign, save the hose. The Goodfather breaks the sign over Bubba Ray Dudley's back. And then the Goodfather, insanely, the way he powerbombed the hoe through the table, which is Victoria, by the way, he just dropped her ass through it. So, no saving the hose tonight. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, the Godfather, he showed who he was tonight. So
the Goodfather.
They aren't playing around.
That's his name now.
Yes,
the Goodfather. With his glasses. He's great. I remember as a kid this segment, I was like, oh no, the poor hoe. You know, like in first grade with Miss Ann O'Connell. Miss Ann. You're coming back from summer vacation. Miss Ann, a hoe got powerbombed through a table by the Goodfather.
Yeah.
Frick it down, suck it.
Poor, horny little Ann.
Yeah. Kurt Angle and Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley are talking backstage about both of their gold.
She better watch herself.
She tells Kurt Angle Triple H is upset about everything. Angle's upset that Triple H raised his voice at Stephanie, and he needs to be more sensitive to Stephanie. She thanks him for being a good friend. It's never good when someone gives advice to.
Kurt Angle also suggests that he goes to anger management.
Or
get some kind of help.
That would be like if someone was talking crap about you to me, like as like another man, and I was just like, yeah, go along with it. Like, that's bad. Stephanie, what are you doing? So this guy, I don't even remember him. His name is Just Joe. That's his character. He goes to Triple H backstage, and he tells him the guys backstage are saying that Kurt Angle would beat up Triple H in a real fight. He's pretty much stirring the pot, and I really don't remember him, so it's interesting to see him. But
it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. Next up, we've got TNA and the Intercontinental Champion Val Venis with Trish Stratus taking on Eddie Guerrero and Too Cool with Chyna. Before the bell rings, Val Venis lands a power driver Eddie Guerrero on the floor, so he's basically out for the match. And
have no fear,
Chyna. That's right. Chyna gets involved. She's like, tag me in. Chyna pretty much has control of the match until Tess lands a big boot. And then Eddie ends up hitting Val Venis with a frog splash. Chyna pins Val, and all is right with the world. Chyna pins the Intercontinental Champion, though, so that's interesting there. What'd you think of that? It was like kind of weird the way that Eddie was able to get involved, even though Chyna jumped in for him.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense, but it was still cool. Chyna is a good person to have on your side. So.
The ninth wonder of the world.
DX had it right from the beginning. So.
Yeah. So then women's champion Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley comes out to the ring. Stephanie says, I would like to publicly apologize to my husband. I am so sorry for SmackDown. Kurt and I are just friends. There's nothing between us. I shouldn't have hugged him for so long. We were right in front of you, but it was still wrong. Hunter, will you please come down here? And then Triple H comes out. Stephanie says, I'm sorry. I've been quick to get to anger and assumptions. I've been jealous. People who love each other fight. I love you more than anything else. I can't bear the thought of you with another woman. I'm truly sorry. Do you forgive me? They hug, and then Stephanie says, we need to talk about business. We need to smooth things over. I want Kurt Angle to come on out here. And then Angle comes out. Angle says, Triple H, there's a common expression called in the heat of the battle. Stephanie and I, as friends, got caught in the heat of the battle last week.
More like the heat of the moment.
Yeah. I respect your marriage. When Stephanie jumped into my arms, all I thought about was friendship. Triple H says, you might have my naive wife fooled, but I know you're full of shit. And Stephanie kind of looks like, Stephanie then says, Triple H, look at me. If you really love me, then you will shake hands with Kurt. I have no feelings for Kurt. That's when Commissioner Foley comes out. Foley says, I don't mean to break up this threesome. I have obtained video footage from last week. It's the footage of Stephanie hugging Kurt. And he says, I care about seeing you two beating the living hell out of each other. We're going to have a number one contenders match tonight between Triple H and Kurt Angle. And Stephanie, man, she's got herself in a mess here in a little triangle. First it started with Triple H and Trish. Now it's Stephanie and Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
What do you think of this soap opera here going on?
Yeah, I think that... Well, first of all, Triple H really was never in the wrong. Like, Stephanie walked in at the wrong time. He had no interest in
Trish.
He
Yeah.
even told her to get the fuck away and all this. But Stephanie definitely has some interest in Kurt. So, Stephanie has not told Kurt to get the fuck away.
No, not at all.
She is begging for it.
Not at all. Next up, WWF Champion The Rock defends against Chris Benoit with Shane McMahon in a no DQ match. Rock applies a sharpshooter early on. Shane attacks The Rock from behind. And then it's a constant, pretty much handicap match.
Shane gets The Rock from behind.
Yeah, he does. Rock applies a crossface. And then Rock chases Shane. Benoit slams The Rock and lands a flying headbutt for a 2 count. Rock lands a people's elbow, but Shane breaks up the pin again. Benoit applies a crossface, but then Y2J Chris Jericho returns. He attacks Benoit, lands a powerbomb to Chris Benoit on a chair twice, and then Rock hits the Rock bottom, and the Rock retains the title with some help of Chris Jericho getting revenge on Benoit. We then see Benoit and Shane yelling at Foley that Chris Jericho needs to be punished, and Foley says he will be. Jericho will be added to the Triple H Kurt Angle match tonight.
Yeah, it was great to see Jericho back.
Yo, he fucked up Chris Benoit, man.
Yeah, he did.
But Benoit fucked him up before, so I think it was good revenge.
He came back with vengeance.
Mm-hmm. Now, this next segment, I remember a lot as a kid, this whole rivalry and this whole situation. We have Tazz coming out, and he confronts Jim Ross. Tazz says, I fully loaded. You said I was a piece of garbage. You got a problem with me. You ain't nothing but a redneck scumbag. And then Jerry Lawler gets up, and he says, Lawler, sit down before you get choked out. JR, you want to fight me? And then Tazz knocks off JR's cowboy hat. He says, I'd like to smack you across the face, but it looks like God already did.
Oh!
And then Ross slaps the shit out of Tazz, and then Tazz is like, do it again, hit me. And then Jerry the King Lawler punches the shit out of Tazz, and security guards run out. And King's defending JR. It's kind of like Pat McAfee and Michael Cole here.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, though?
There have been a couple times that Jerry Lawler defended, like, Michael Cole and JR.
Mm.
I love any storyline with the King. I think he's so funny. I love Jerry Lawler. So I thought this was great.
It's going to get good. It's good. It gets good.
I know.
Next up, we have a 6-man
And
tag.
it's great because he's not scared. Sorry.
No, go
he's
ahead.
not scared to jump in the ring and fucking get down.
You're just. I remember as a kid, I ate this shit up. So we got a 6-man tag. Matt Hardy and the Acolytes defeat the tag team champions Edge and Christian, the Big Show by disqualification. After Big Show hits the Acolytes with one of the tag team titles. After Big Show powerbombs Matt Hardy, and then the Undertaker rides out on his motorcycle and takes out everybody. And then Taker chases Shane McMahon up the ramp with the motorcycle. Shane jumps on.
Undertaker is back.
He is. He jumps on one of the stage like poster things. I don't know what we would call it. Like
Like the Teletron.
Yeah, the Titantron. My speech impediment's coming out. So Shane's hanging there. Toy Story. Shane's hanging there. Undertaker punches the Big Show with a steel chain and then tosses the Big Show off the stage. And thank God, goodbye to Big Show. I really didn't remember Big Show being involved, and maybe this is why, because I was like, Big Show's around during this time. But I don't know if I'm right, but I think this might be the end of the Big Show for a little bit here.
Yeah.
I think so.
Didn't he just come back?
Well, I told you, and I remember this pay-per-view vividly. He's not involved on the card. I'll tell you that.
In the next one?
Yeah, that's why when I saw him, I was like, "That's
the next one." SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Do we get Stone Cold back at SummerSlam?
We have to wait and see. Anyways, so what do you think about Taker tossing fat ass Big Show off the stage?
It was great. I love Undertaker, and Big Show's fucking cool.
Yeah. We see Chris Jericho attacks Triple H backstage before the Triple Threat match. This is the main event. Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Triple H. The WWF Champion The Rock comes out for commentary. Jericho lands a double dive to both on the floor and then hits a missile dropkick to Triple H for a 2 count. Jericho applies a waltz to Kurt Angle, but Triple H breaks it up. Jericho lands a heel kick to Triple H, and then Jericho drop toe holds Kurt Angle right into Triple H's balls, which I'm sure Kurt Angle liked a little bit. Jericho hits a double lion salt for a 2 count, and then Triple H and Kurt Angle hit a double super back suplex to Chris Jericho. Both men put their arm on Chris Jericho, and we have 2 winners here, Kurt Angle and Triple H. After The Rock hits a rock bomb to both Angle and Triple H, Stephanie gets in The Rock face, slaps The Rock, and then The Rock hits a rock bottom to Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley. So, who do you think is the number 1 contender? They both won here.
I'm thinking a triple threat.
Possibly. I don't know. But Stephanie, what do you think about Stephanie taking that rock bottom?
That was great. And I'm interested to see what happens, because if it is a triple threat, whose side is Stephanie going to be on?
Well, we'll have to see, and we'll definitely be covering SummerSlam. It's a couple weeks away, though, because we're on, the SmackDown is the 10th. The SmackDown is the 10th, and then it's the 27th, so...
About 2 more weeks.
Yep, so not too far, so it's going to get good. All right, well, with that, we've covered all of Raw Is War. We'll be covering SmackDown, which will be live in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So they're not going too far from New York here. It's going to be a good episode. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Tell your mom.
Tell your mom, tell your grandmother, tell your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Your second cousin. Everybody you know.
Your baby daddy.
Yeah. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.